minimum element of each row from all the elements of that row. Okay, so here what's going to happen? What is first row? Guys, you got to be on time, right? তোরা থার্ড ইয়ার, এবার তোদের কি এরকম করে বলতে ভালো লাগে? You got to be on time. It's a single class, right? A single 50-minute class. If I have to keep admitting people, chalo. So what is the first row? 8, 26, 17, 11, right? 8, 26, 17, 11. Give me a sec, guys. Yeah. What is the minimum element? 8. So what do I mean? It means you have to subtract 8 from all the elements of the first row. So this is going to give you this matrix. This matrix. Okay. Subtract the minimum element of each row from all the elements of that row. So first row will give you 8 minus 8, 0. 26 minus 8, 18. 17 minus 8, 9. 11 minus 8, 3. First row. Similarly, second row. What is the minimum element? 4. Matlab 13, 28, 4, 26. Subtract 4 from this row. Third row minimum element is 15. Matlab subtract 15 from 38, 19, 18, 15. And last row minimum element is 10. So you have to do 19 minus 10, 26 minus 10, 24 minus 10, 10 minus 10. And then you are going to get this row reduced matrix. Okay. This is step 1. Is everyone okay with this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, step 2. Simple. Repeat the process for columns. रो के लिए किया है सेम प्रोसेस, मतलब फाइंड द मिनिमम वैल्यू इन ईच कॉलम और उसको बाकी सारे वैल्यूज से सब्ट्रैक्ट करो. So here first column of the highlighted matrix on your screen, the first column is 0, 9, 23, 9. Minimum element is obviously 0. तो उसको subtract करो या ना करो, it's going to give you the same value. Second column 18, 24, 4, 16. Minimum value is 4. तो उसको subtract करो. Third column and fourth column फिर से the minimum element is 0. तो उसमें कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला, right? So after step 2, the column operation, we are here now. Okay? Now, till here it's simple. Now the very crucial step 3. Cover all the zeros of the matrix using horizontal and vertical lines. Okay, cover all the zeros of the matrix using horizontal or vertical lines such that the number of lines drawn is a minimum. Abhi obviously this sounds very Hebrew to you, like you understand subtraction. Abhi drawing kahan se aa gaya, right? So let's see how this is going to look like. So see on your screens now this, and this is where I miss annotating because I need to annotate. Give me a second, guys. Let me see if I can do this.
Yes, ma'am. In paid version of Adobe, you can annotate.
Yeah, that is what I'm wondering about. That I know, but पता है क्या ये इतना, it doesn't look so neat. Anyway, we'll give this a shot. See, it's not working here. Anyway, चलो 1 minute रुक जा.
Ma'am, you can do like one more thing, like you can take this
Okay.
snap of this picture and take it to Paint and annotate there.
Yeah, I know. Do you imagine? Can you imagine how annoying that is? Chalo, I'll try to use the. You can see my cursor, right?
There is another option as well, LibreOffice. It is free, and there you have the option of annotating.
पता है, ये सब पता है. The point is it's very difficult to keep flipping between windows. तुम लोग कंफ्यूज हो जाओगे ना कि मैम यहाँ पे पढ़ा रही थी वहाँ पे चली गई. अच्छा, what I'll do is let me try to explain and then you guys tell me whether you can follow. ठीक है, चलेगा?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So अभी मैंने क्या कहा? Rule 3 is I have to draw lines covering all the zeros. Covering all the zeros मतलब जीरो के ऊपर से लाइन को लाना है. अभी diagonal या zigzag lines are not allowed. We are allowed to use only horizontal and vertical lines. अभी obviously you guys can see कि this can be done in a lot of ways. I mean the one on your screen right now, that is not the only way of doing it, right? This is not the only way of doing it. I can do it in a lot of different ways also. So what is the catch? The catch is that you need to draw the lines covering the zeros in such a manner so that it is a minimum. मतलब उससे कम line में आप सारे zeros को cover नहीं कर पाएंगे. Okay, you will not be able to cover all the zeros using horizontal and vertical lines with any less number of lines. Okay, so for instance, on your screens right now, the matrix which is on your screens right now, you can see that there's a certain way in which the zeros have been covered. अगर ये वाले आपको पसंद नहीं है, you can try to cover the zeros in any other way. It's totally fine. आप 4 verticals line draw कर दो, उसमें भी कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. आप 2 vertical और 2 horizontal lines draw करो, उसमें भी कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. So there is no restriction in how you draw the lines. The catch remains that the number of lines should be a minimum. मतलब, for example, in this case, if you try, you will not be able to cover all the zeros of this matrix using 3 lines. आप try करके देख लो. You will not be able to cover all the zeros with 3 lines. You will need a minimum of 4 lines to cover all the zeros. And this is the most critical aspect of the procedure. Okay? So, फिर से, what is step 3? You cover all the zeros of the matrix. It is sometimes called the starting matrix. Okay? Cover all the zeros of the matrix using horizontal and vertical lines such that the number of lines needed is a minimum. Okay? Now, यहाँ पे what is the number? 4. You need 4 lines. Now, if we, and here now you will have a, if this is, you make a flowchart of this process, तो यहाँ पे text box आने वाला है. If the number of lines drawn is equal to the order of the matrix. Okay, again, if the number of lines drawn is equal to the order of the matrix, what does that mean? That means यहाँ पे for instance देखो, we had a 4 by 4 matrix और lines भी हमारे 4 ही लगे हैं. So the number of lines drawn, the minimum number of lines drawn is equal to the order of the matrix. If we are very lucky, this will happen at the first stage and the problem is solved. हमारा काम हो गया. Sum done. Now the obvious question you guys will ask me कि पर मैम अगर नहीं है equal तो, अभी अगर नहीं है equal तो 2 choices हो सकते हैं. It can be greater than the order of the matrix, it can be less than the order of the matrix, right? Now here you will find that the number of lines drawn can never be greater than the order of the matrix. आपका 4 by 4 का मैट्रिक्स है और लाइंस ड्रॉ किए हैं 5, मिनिमम नंबर ऑफ लाइंस ड्रॉन. ओके, हैज टू बी मिनिमम नंबर ऑफ लाइंस ड्रॉन. दैट कैन नॉट बी 5. अगर आपने 4 by 4 मैट्रिक्स में 5 लाइंस डाले हैं, मतलब आपने गलत किया है. ओके, सो it can only be equal to the order of the matrix or it can be less than the order of the matrix. Okay, so the minimum number of lines drawn, if it is equal to the order of the matrix, then stop, problem solved. If it is less than the order of the matrix, तब हमको कुछ extra करना पड़ेगा. There's one more step which we will have to do, and I'll get to that in a bit. Now,
Excuse me, ma'am.
if the number of lines, yes, ball.
ম্যাম বলছি কি এইখানে এটা কি প্রি-অ্যাজিউম করা হয়েছে কি মানে নাম্বার অফ জবস উইল বি ইকুয়াল টু নাম্বার অফ মেশিনস
If
অলওয়েজ?
you okay, if you were listening from the beginning, I told you that the restriction of the assignment problem is that there has to be a 1-1 mapping between the number of jobs and the number of machines. अभी 1-1 mapping
Okay.
चाहिए तो it has to be a square matrix, right?
Yes, got it, ma'am. Yes, got it, ma'am.
ठीक है,
Thank
very
you,
good.
ma'am.
अच्छा, please feel free to ask your question, guys. हाँ, you know how I take the class. You have experienced my class earlier, so please feel free to ask your questions. Saran, Rakshit कौन है? Is he from your class?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
এতক্ষণে তা চিত্ত উদয় হয়েছে? আজ ফার্স্ট ক্লাস কিন্তু আমি আজকে সব অ্যালাউ করে দিচ্ছি. নেক্সট ডে অনওয়ার্ডস প্লিজ জয়েন উইথ ইয়োর আইডি, নেম অ্যান্ড আইডি. ওকে,
ম্যাম
বল.
বলছিলাম যে এখানে ফার্স্টে আমরা রোজ থেকে মিনিমাম এলিমেন্টটাকে মাইনাস করলাম, তো
Yes.
সিমিলারলি আগে যদি কলাম করি তারপর রোজ করি তাহলে তো সেম আসবে।
হ্যাঁ, সত্যি কথা বলতে গেলে গুড পয়েন্ট, ড্যাম গুড পয়েন্ট. Yes, আসবে. It will not make a difference because ultimately it's a square matrix, right? So first if we will do a column operation and then we will do the row operation, the ultimate starting matrix will give you the same.
ওকে,
However, কি বলতো, it's just convention. Whenever we talk about a matrix, our eyes are more sort of used to go from left to right, row wise. তাই জন্য কনভেনশন রো আগে কলাম পড়ে, আর কোনো কারণ নেই এটার. ওকে, গুড
Okay.
পয়েন্ট, ভালো ধরেছিস. ওকে, সো নাও, আচ্ছা, এনি মোর কোয়েশ্চেন্স? আমি লাস্ট স্টেপটা বলি, ঠিক আছে? আচ্ছা, নাও that we have drawn the minimum number of lines and we have been very lucky, so the number of lines drawn is equal to the order of the matrix, and I said stop, problem solved. So now immediately you will ask me, ma'am, problem kothay solve holo, where's the assignment? So now, after you have completed the mathematical procedure of the problem, now we will do the assignment. Okay, now what is the rule of assignment? And again, what I think Anurag asked me, it's convention that I'm checking row wise first. Feel free to check column wise as well. It will work both ways. Okay. So check the first row. Check the first row. If there is only 1 0, carefully shown. If there is only 1 0, वहाँ पे allocate कर दो, मतलब put the box there, right? You can see, put the box there. If there is only 1 0, put the box there, move on to the next row. So first row, what is the value? 0, 14, 9 and 3. There's only 1 0. तो आप वहाँ पे मैंने बॉक्स डाल दिया, मतलब I have made an allocation or an assignment there. Done. Next row. Second row. Again, फिर से there's only one row, 9, 1 0, 9, 20, 0 and 22. फिर से एक ही 0 है, तो वहाँ पे फिर से मैंने बॉक्स लगा दिया. So this is where I'm allocating. This is my assignment. Next, moving on to the third row. अभी third row में आके we are in trouble. दो zeros हैं, 23, 0, 3, 0. दो zeros हैं. So when you have more than 1 0, तो वहाँ पे skip, कुछ मत करो अभी, skip. Okay. Now come to the fourth row. Come to the fourth row. Luckily for us, यहाँ पे भी सिर्फ एक ही 0 है, तो वहाँ पे I have done an allocation. Okay. Now you will ask me immediately, but ma'am, what about the third row? वहाँ पे which 0? वो column 2 वाला 0 या column 4 वाला 0? ओके, तो इसके लिए लेट्स चेक कॉलम वाइज नाउ. ओके, फर्स्ट कॉलम, as you can see I already have a 0 allocated there. दिख रहा है the comment sign over there? So I have already made an allocation over there. So वहाँ पे कुछ नहीं करना है.
Ma'am,
हाँ बोल.
ma'am, what did you say after step 3? Like if we have got 2 zeros in a row, then we
Okay.
will select
If नहीं, if you have got 2 zeros in a row, तो उस रो को तब के
Skip.
लिए ना छोड़ दे. हाँ, skip. छोड़
yes,
दो.
ma'am.
ठीक है. Move on to the other row. अभी वहां पे भी अगर 2 जीरोस है तो उसको भी स्किप कर दो. मतलब एक से ज्यादा जीरोस जहां पे मिलेंगे, वी आर गोइंग टू स्किप द रोज फॉर नाउ. वी विल कम बैक टू देम, आई टेल यू हाउ. ठीक है. तो यहाँ पे माई प्रॉब्लम वॉज विथ रो 3 जहाँ पे 2 जीरोस है, तो उसमें मैंने कोई एलोकेशन नहीं किया है अभी तक. इसको भूल जा, इसको भूल जा. आई हैव नॉट एलोकेटेड. फोर्थ रो में कॉर्नर वाले कॉलम में 4 सेल में सिंगल जीरो था, तो वो मैंने एलोकेट किया. So now at this stage, I have not finished my allocation. Okay, at this stage, I have the 1 cell allocated, top left corner. I have the 2 3 cell allocated, and I have the 4 cell allocated. Third row में there is no allocation. Okay, now we move on to checking column wise. फिर से first column में देखो, there is already an allocation which we had done. 1 1 वाला वो है ऑलरेडी, तो वहां पे और कुछ नहीं करना है. कम टू द सेकेंड रो. सेकेंड रो में ना देखो कोई एलोकेशन नहीं है अभी. नाउ ट्राई टू थिंक. सो OR ना, the trick to dealing with OR problems is to think of it in terms of real problems. So when I say that column 2 में there is no allocation, इसका मतलब क्या है फिजिकल लाइफ में, रियल लाइफ में इसका मतलब क्या है? दिस मीन्स मशीन 2 में कोई काम नहीं मिला है उसको, वो खाली बैठा है मशीन 2, क्योंकि उस मशीन 2 वाले कॉलम में मैंने कोई एलोकेशन नहीं डाला. राइट, आई हैव नॉट पुट एनी एलोकेशन टू द कॉलम 2, मशीन 2 वाले कॉलम में. So that means I have not assigned any job to machine 2, but it has to be a 1 1 mapping, तो उसको एक जॉब देना है. So that means I have to give an allocation to this 0 here. Okay, the 3 2 cell, the 3 2 cell here I have to give an allocation. Now थर्ड रो में देखो, थर्ड कॉलम में देखो, there's already an allocation. And look at the fourth column. Fourth column में this 0 here, my bad, hold on, yeah, this 0 here, I'll delete it in a bit. Okay, this 0 here I am not going to allocate. You can see the highlighted comment wala icon on that cell. So this 0 I will not allocate. क्यों? Because ये 0 कहाँ पे है? थर्ड रो में है और फोर्थ कॉलम में है. चेक, थर्ड रो में क्या कोई allocation है? Yes, I do have an allocation for the third row. What does it mean in real life? In real life it means that I have assigned job C to some machine. एंड फोर्थ कॉलम में देखो, फोर्थ कॉलम में या कोई असाइनमेंट है. व्हाट डज इट मीन? देयर सम जॉब हैज बीन असाइन्ड टू मशीन 4. तो ये कमेंट वाले 0 पे अगर मैंने कोई असाइनमेंट डाल दिया तो क्या होगा? डबल हो जाएगा. मतलब if I put an assignment to this highlighted cell, the one that I've highlighted with a comment icon on your screens, if I put an assignment there, so that would mean I have 2 assignments for row 3, which is not allowed. क्यों नहीं allowed है? क्योंकि 2 assignment का मतलब होता है the same job has been assigned to 2 different machines, which violates the 1 1 mapping. Similarly, अगर कॉलम वाइज देखें तो फोर्थ कॉलम में मैंने अगर इसको असाइन कर दिया तो फोर्थ कॉलम के लिए मेरे 2 असाइनमेंट बन जाएंगे. एंड दैट वुड मीन that I have assigned 2 jobs to one machine, machine 4, वो भी allowed नहीं है. So therefore, this assignment is not done. Okay? Have I been able to make it clear? So I'll just summarize. Okay, I'll just summarize this for everyone. If number of lines drawn to cover all the zeros, the minimum number of lines drawn is equal to the order of the matrix, then we will stop. Whatever procedure we had to do, it's over. Now we have to do the assignment. कैसे assignment करेंगे? We will start checking row wise. If there is a single zero, only one zero in each row, that gets assigned. And then you move on to the next. ऐसे हम check करते जाएंगे. If there is more than one zero in any particular row, for example here on the third row there were 2 zeros, तो उसको we will skip, छोड़ देंगे. We will skip, move on to the next. ऐसे we will complete the assignments row wise. अगर single zero है तो assign करो, अगर multiple zeros है तो छोड़ दो. We will finish the process row wise. Then we will start checking column wise. अभी column में, because of the row wise allocations, there will be some assignments. So if it is already assigned, ignore, skip कर दो उसको, और कुछ नहीं करना, it's already assigned. So for instance, in this particular problem, column 1, there's already an assignment. Column 2 में there were no assignments. Now if there is no assignment in column 2, then I do have to make an assignment. So I will select वो वाला 0. Okay, that particular 0. So in this case, it was the 320, this cell that I had chosen, this cell, this cell. So I made an allocation here. Okay, the moment you make an allocation here, automatically it means that this is going to get ignored. क्यों? Because I cannot have 2 allocations in the same row, or I cannot have 2 allocations in the same column. It violates the 1-1 restriction of the assignment problem. So similarly, we will finish the checking process column wise. At the end of the process, you will find that you will find the optimal assignment, which will give you the 1-1 map. So what will be the answer to this particular problem? Job A is assigned to machine 1, job B is assigned to machine 3, job 3 is assigned to machine 2, job D is assigned to machine 4. Okay, mapta theke that job A is assigned to machine 1, job B is assigned to machine 2, job C is assigned to machine
Ma'am,
2.
B is assigned to
B is
machine
assigned to
3.
3. B is assigned to 3. Thank you. Thank you. C is assigned to machine 2 and D is assigned to machine 4. 1-1 mapping page. And so final, what is the cost? Cost ta hocche, these cells, they had certain values in the given payoff matrix. So let's go back to my payoff matrix, the first matrix. So 8 plus 4, 12 plus 19. So that will give you 31 plus 10, 41, which is the, if it's a cost problem, this is the minimum cost. If it's a time problem, this is the minimum time. So here I think this was a time problem. Yeah, this was a time problem. So 8 tak. Minimum is 8 plus 4 plus 19 plus 10, which gives you a minimum of 41 hours. ठीक है? Does anyone have any question? Yes, Azizul, ask.
A little question. What if 2 columns and 2 rows have the same, have zeros? For example, in the D column, D row, 14 and zeros are interchanged. Then what would be the process?
Dara. Let's see if I've understood you correctly. अच्छा, A column में बोलছিস तो? अच्छा, now I'll tell you. বুঝেছি বুঝেছি So now, valid question. You guys can ask me this question obviously. J, how can I ensure যে লাস্টে আমার এই 1 1 ম্যাপিংটা থাকবে, লাইক আই উইল নট এন্ড আপ উইথ আ রো ওয়্যার দেয়ার আর 2 zeros or I will not end up with a column which has 2 zeros. এটাই তো প্রশ্ন আজিজুর?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, good, valid question. This is a very genuine question. So how can I ensure, how can I say ki yes, it is guaranteed that you will end up with this 1 1 assignment? And you know what guarantees it?
Yes,
That
ma'am, because once
Subtracting by
the
the
zeros we
smallest.
are getting, we are already eliminating those rows and columns.
yes वो तो है, but that what you are saying Srijita is correct, क्योंकि वहाँ जहाँ पे मिल रहा है वहाँ पे corresponding row और column हम cancel कर रहे हैं. Yes, but it's more theoretic. I think Azizul's question was more sort of fundamental than that. That how can I ensure that this is happening from a mathematical basis? वो तो हो रहा है कि हम कैंसिल करते करते जा रहे हैं तो एंड में हमारा 1 1 मैपिंग आने वाला है, बट दैट इज द कॉन्सिक्वेंस ऑफ इट, दैट इज नॉट द रीजन ऑफ इट, राइट? व्हाट इज द रीजन? रीजन ये है कि वो जो मैंने बोला कि व्हेन डू आई स्टॉप द प्रोसीजर, when the minimum number of lines drawn is equal to the order of the matrix. अभी क्योंकि the minimum number of lines drawn is equal to the order of the matrix, that is what is ensuring that at the end of the assignment I will get that 1 1 mapping. ठीक है? And because, and so if you remember I told you कि greater than तो नहीं हो सकता, ठीक है? greater than होने का मतलब क्या होगा? greater than होने का मतलब है I'll get more assignments than jobs and machines. मतलब मेरे 4 jobs and machines है और मैंने 5 assignment किए हैं, वो नहीं होने वाला. That's not allowed, right? So number of lines drawn cannot be greater than the number of the machines. If it is less than, if the minimum number of lines drawn is less than, so then what will happen is if I say okay, minimum number of lines drawn is 3, order of the matrix is 4, हो गया मेरा problem, चलो let's allocate. अभी वहां पे ना जाके you will see that you will get this problem. You may find a row जहाँ पे 0 ही नहीं है, या कॉलम है जहाँ पे 0 ही नहीं है, या एक रो में 2 zeros हैं. So what is it that is ensuring that when I start allocating in this row and column wise manner, end में मेरे को वो 1 1 map मिलने वाला है? What is ensuring this? That the minimum number of lines drawn is equal to the order of the matrix. Okay, so you understand कि that lines drawn thing is very important, क्योंकि अगर मैंने वहाँ पे if I make a mistake, then my allocations are not going to work out. तो वहाँ पे मेरा नहीं that 1 1 mapping is not going to happen. So be very very careful while drawing the lines. Check that এর কমে হচ্ছে না তো. Okay, so suppose the minimum number of lines drawn is 3 और तुमने चेक नहीं किया, तुमने बस 4 लाइंस ड्रॉ कर दिए सारे जीरोस पे और बोला ये तो मिनिमम 4 हो गया, तो ऑर्डर ऑफ द मैट्रिक्स हो गया, लेट्स एलोकेट. You will find that you will not get that 1 1 mapping at the end of the process. Okay, so be very careful while drawing the drawing the lines. Ensure that it is the minimum and that minimum is equal to the order of the matrix. When that happens, then you will 100% guaranteed get this 1 1 mapping. ठीक है? Azizur, is this okay now? Have I been able to clarify? ठीक है. Any more questions, guys?
Ma'am, here is there any possibility that in the last row, that is the job D that is been assigned, like in the fourth machine it is being assigned. So is there any possibility that the last row will not have any zeros?
No, no, there is no possibility, because that's what I said, that the minimum number of lines drawn being equal to the order of the matrix, that is what is ensuring कि each row will have at least 1 0 and each column will have at least 1 0, number one. And number two, if you do the assignments properly, then at the end of the process, you will get a 1-1 mapping. So that guarantee is being given by the minimum number of lines drawn being equal to the order of the matrix. Okay?
Sorry, ma'am, but I couldn't get that minimum thing. Like how it is guaranteeing that it should be having 1-1 mapping. I couldn't get that properly.
What you do, I'll share this note. You do it with your own hands. Okay? Try karo, khud se, bagair dekh ke. I've told you the steps. You've understood the steps. Try and follow the steps and see how it works out. Okay? I do understand that it may sound a bit confusing कि कैसे हो रहा है. Until and unless you do it yourself, you'll still have that doubt. So खुद से करो. फिर भी नहीं समझ में आ रहा है तो I'll explain again. ठीक है?
No, ma'am, I get the procedure. Like how it
No,
is
not the
happening, I get it.
how. See, the point is because, huh?
Ma'am, maybe he's asking like he want to see the, backward mathematical proof behind it, something which will have epsilon, etc. Those beyond mathematical tradition.
No, actually not.
See, the point is there is a very hardcore rigorous mathematics to it. जो वो lines का concept है ना, उसके पीछे there is a hardcore math to it. Do you
No,
really
actually,
want to know that?
Ma'am, I was about going to ask you that.
तो उस so okay, so this process now, this has been formulated by two Hungarian mathematicians. So this is known as the Hungarian method. तो आप गूगल करो, फाइंड आउट द हार्डकोर मैथ ऑफ इट. एक मैथ है, ऐसा नहीं कि किसी ने सुबह को उसको सोचा कि अच्छा चलो लाइंस ड्रॉ करते हैं और वो एंड में सब इक्वल इक्वल आ जाएगा, 1-1 आ जाएगा. नो, देयर इज
ma'am, ma'am,
ऑब्वियसली मैथ टू इट. ओके,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am,
Because ওই
ma'am,
লাইন ড্র
ma'am,
করার রিজনটাই
can,
আমি বুঝতে পারলাম না।
अच्छा एक मिनट,
ma'am,
one at a time. Sabyasachi, first finish.
ওকে, সো ম্যাম আমি জিজ্ঞাসা করছি আপনি লাইন ড্র করা মানে এটা কি, আমি সেটাই বুঝতে পারছি না কি আপনি লাইন
লাইন
ড্র
ড্র
করা
করা
কি
মানে
বলছেন?
হচ্ছে আমরা জিরোটাকে কভার করতে চাইছি হয় ভার্টিক্যাল লাইন বা হরাইজন্টাল লাইন দিয়ে, মানে জিরোগুলোর ওপর দিয়ে অ্যাজ ইফ একটা দাগ কেটে দিয়েছি. এই যে যেটা এইখানে, এই যে এবার স্ক্রিনে দেখতে পাচ্ছি সেই ম্যাট্রিক্সটা, আমি জিরোগুলোর ওপর দিয়ে দাগ কেটে দিয়েছি as if to cover all the zeros. এবার আমাকে দেখতে হবে যে এই যে আমি দাগ কাটলাম টু কভার অল দ্য জিরোস, মিনিমাম দাগ দিয়ে, মিনিমাম সম্ভব দাগ দিয়ে, এই মিনিমাম সম্ভব লাইনটা কি অর্ডার অফ দ্য ম্যাট্রিক্সের সমান? যদি সমান হয় তাহলে আলটিমেটলি আমার সেই 1-1 ম্যাপিংটা এনশিওর্ড হচ্ছে. And there is obviously a really hardcore math backing this up, which I'm not going to get into. Okay?
ওকে ম্যাম, সো ইন দিস কেস যদি আমাদের নাম্বার অফ লাইন্স যদি লেস দেন দি অর্ডার অফ ম্যাট্রিক্স হয়, সো ইন
সেটা
দ্যাট
আমি
কেস
বলবো, ওটা
পসিবল
আমি
হবে
এখনো
না।
বলিনি, ওটা হবে না, না 1-1 ম্যাপিং হবে না, কারেক্ট. এবার তাহলে কি করতে হবে, দ্যাট ইজ সামথিং which I will come to. I have not discussed that. Okay, so that was
ওকে
what I was trying to get. যে acha, for those of you who do not follow Bengali, just give me a minute to answer him and I'll tell you that again. So যদি এখানে যেটা তুই বললি যে অর্ডার অফ দ্য ম্যাট্রিক্স তো 4, আমার ধরুন 4টে লাইন লাগলো না, থিওরেটিক্যালি আমার 5টা বা মানে 4-এর বেশি, মানে 5টা লাইন লাগা পসিবল নয়, হতে পারে না. তাহলে হয় 4 হবে বা 4-এর কম হবে. এবার যদি 3টে লাইন দিয়ে আমি সবকটা জিরোকে ঢেকে দিতে পারি, তাহলে কিন্তু আমি অ্যাসাইন করতে পারবো না. অ্যাসাইন করতে গেলে যে সমস্যাটা তুই বললি, যে ধরুন কোনো রো বা কলমে জিরো নেই, বা ধরুন কোনো রো বা কলমে একাধিক জিরো বসে গেছে, হতেই পারে, আমরা অ্যাসাইন করতে পারবো না. সো সেখানে আমাদের একটা এক্সট্রা স্টেপ করতে হবে, সেটা আমি এখনো বলিনি, বলবো. ঠিক আছে,
ওকে ম্যাম, ঠিক আছে, থ্যাংক ইউ।
চলো. আর কে বলছিলি, হু ওয়াজ আস্কিং মি?
ম্যাম ওটাই ওটাই জিজ্ঞেস করতে।
দুজনের এবার ক্লিয়ার হয়েছে?
হ্যাঁ
Acha, now coming to, so this is for everyone. Now coming to what your friends were asking, that what happens if this, so everything basically hinges on, এই কতক্ষণ ধরে ক্লাস নিচ্ছি রে আমি, আচ্ছা, so everything hinges on basically that minimum number of lines being equal to the order of the matrix, right? Like I said, that is your text box. that is the minimum number of lines equal to order of the matrix? If yes, then stop, allocate. If no, then greater than is not allowed, not possible, so less than hote pare, right? So less than hole, obviously we will not be able to assign korte parbi na. So then what do we do? Now this part তোরা কি এখন ডাবল ক্লাস করবি না এটা পরের দিন বলবো?
Ma'am, 5 minutes extended अगर
और
हो जाए तो.
ठीक है अच्छा so what I'll do is I'll show you this example which I have shared on your screens quickly, but we
Yes,
will pick this up in the next class again, okay? Just so you can see with your own eyes the problem that arises, I'll just show you. So this is the given matrix, ठीक है? अभी given matrix में क्या करना है? We will first do the row operation and then we will do the column operation, okay? So this is row operation, मतलब subtract the minimum element of each row from all the elements of that particular row. Row operation, and then do the column operation. Okay, so take the minimum element of each column. By the way, so this is the given matrix. Just to clarify, this is the given matrix. After that, you do this row operation and you get this matrix. इस मैट्रिक्स पे हाइलाइटेड मैट्रिक्स पे कॉलम ऑपरेट करो, अभी ओरिजिनल मैट्रिक्स पे मत कर दो. So do the column operation on this matrix, okay, and you will get this which is called the starting matrix. Starting, okay, starting matrix. Now here, what is the order of the matrix? 5, right? 5 rows and 5 columns. And yet you see I have used only 3 lines to cover. All the zeros I've been able to cover using 3 lines, okay? So obviously, अभी anyone has any doubt ना? घर पे इस स्टेज पे बैठ के असाइन करने की कोशिश करो. You will see you will not be able to do. नहीं होने वाला assignment ऐसे, okay? So now what we should do, and again I'm going to do this very briefly today. We'll come back to this in the next class next week. We have to take the minimum uncovered element. Uncovered element मतलब जिसके ऊपर से line नहीं डाला है, okay? So the minimum uncovered element for this particular matrix is obviously 15, जिसके ऊपर line नहीं है. So take the minimum uncovered element, subtract it from all the other elements of this matrix, okay? Subtract all the uncovered elements of this matrix, मतलब 30 minus 15, 0 is covered, कुछ नहीं करना है. 35 minus 15, 30 minus 15, 15 minus 15. Entire second row is covered, उसमें कुछ नहीं करना है. Third row 30 minus 15, 0 covered है. 35 minus 15, 30 minus 15, 20 minus 15. Fourth row again fully covered, तो वहाँ पे कुछ नहीं करना. Last row 20 minus 15, 0 is covered. 25 minus 15, 15 minus 15, 15 minus 15. And add this value 15 to the intersections of the horizontal and vertical lines, okay? मतलब I will add 15 यहाँ पे intersection पे, और I will add 15 यहाँ पे intersection पे. इन दोनों जगह पे I will add 15, okay? Now the obvious question you will ask me here is, पर मैम ये करके क्या फायदा, हम क्या कर रहे हैं, क्यों कर रहे हैं? So what was my problem? My problem was that I was able to cover all the zeros with 3 lines only. यहाँ पे order of the matrix है 5. क्यों हुआ ये? क्यों? Because if you look at column 2, सारे zeros इस column में, एक ही column में there are 5 zeros. So मैंने एक लाइन यूज करके पूरे 5 zeros को कवर कर दिए. क्यों? बिकॉज सारे एक ही लाइन में थे. After doing this process, the one that I described right now, what you will see happening is you will get this matrix. You will get this matrix. And now look at this matrix. And now see all the zeros are spread around. तो क्या किया मैंने जीरोस जो सारे ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा एक ही लाइन पे थे, तो मेरे नंबर ऑफ लाइंस लेस हो गए. व्हाट आई डिड वाज आई जस्ट स्प्रेड अराउंड माय जीरोस. तो अभी कवर करने के लिए मेरे को ज़्यादा लाइंस चाहिए होंगे. अंडरस्टूड द आइडिया? सो नाउ if you cover, you will see that you will need 5 lines, which is the order of the matrix, and then you will be able to allocate optimally. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. I have one more thing, ma'am. Like,
All.
if যদি এখানটাতে যদি না হয় তাহলে আমরা আবার সেই একই প্রসেস রিপিট করবো,
Yes,
লাইক
yes. Very
লাইন
good.
যেটা
Good. Yes, ekdom. I'm very happy that you guys are engaging. Let me tell you that. I'm really happy about this. So, the question that he's asking is, what happens if suppose at this stage also you cover all the zeros और lines अभी भी less है, मतलब suppose 3 नहीं है 4 हो गए but it's still less than 5, so उसका मतलब हो गया you just repeat the same process. So we will keep doing the same thing again and again and again till the minimum number of lines drawn becomes equal to the order of the matrix. The moment it happens, now we are ready to allocate. Is this okay?
And ma'am, will there not be any situation that we are doing it infinitely and not getting to the solution?
No, 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 no. Infinite loop যদি করিস তার মানে সেটা অঙ্ক ভুল আছে. No.
Okay.
No, the worst case that can happen is maybe 2 times or 3 times at best. তার চেয়ে বেশি হয় না. তার চেয়ে বেশি হয় না. ठीक है? Standard is 1 time. At best you can do it 2 times maybe or 3 times.
Okay, ma'am.
See, the
Ma'am,
whole idea.
after this, we will again start with that row operation and column operation.
नहीं
Or
नहीं नहीं, रो
we will
ऑपरेशन
just
कॉलम
connect the
ऑपरेशन
zeros.
नहीं. Once you just add assign, you just start. Once रो ऑपरेशन कॉलम ऑपरेशन हो जाने के बाद, once you start drawing the lines, तो उसके बाद या फिर रो ऑपरेशन कॉलम ऑपरेशन नहीं है. The whole idea is कि the number of lines drawn should be equal to the order of the matrix. अगर नहीं है, तो अगर वो less than है, तो we have to do that extra step to spread around the zeros. मेरे zeros थोड़ा spread हो गए, तो I'll need more lines to cover them. Okay? So, and this particular part, just this spreading around part, this step 4, matlab. So, step 1 row operation, step 2 column operation, step 3 drawing the lines. ये वाला हो गया. अभी step 4 ये जो है, ये जो spreading around the zeros वाला step है, ये वाला step we will keep repeating till the number of lines drawn is equal to the order of the matrix. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है? अच्छा, now before leaving you guys, I just want to give you one trick. I want to show you one trick. Suppose for this particular matrix, this is the starting matrix. I told you there are a lot of different ways in which you can draw the lines. अभी कैसे we can ensure that the number of lines drawn is a minimum. जल्दी जल्दी में ये कैसे करें? हम थोड़ी ना ट्रायल एंड एरर करेंगे. We want to do it quickly, right? So the hint is, जिस रो या कॉलम में सबसे ज़्यादा ज़ीरोज़ हैं उससे स्टार्ट करो, उसको पहले कवर कर दो. So, for example, for this particular matrix which I have highlighted on your screens right now, the obvious choice to start will be column 2. सारे के सारे ज़ीरोज़ हैं. So, immediately you see that this column has the maximum number of zeros. So, put a vertical line through it. एक line, 5 zeros, done. Okay. So, what is the trick here? Trick here is when you are trying to draw the lines, please check the number of zeros in the rows and columns. जिस रो या कॉलम में द नंबर ऑफ जीरो ज़्यादा है उसको पहले कवर कर दो. ऐसे करते करते जाओ. ऐसा नहीं है कि सपोज द फर्स्ट रो हैज़ 1 0 एंड द थर्ड रो हैज़ 4 zeros और आपने फर्स्ट रो को ज़ीरो काट दिया. नो, स्टार्ट विद द थर्ड रो, उसमें ज़्यादा ज़ीरोज़ है. ठीक है, so that will help you ensure that the number of lines drawn that you are drawing is a minimum. ठीक है, that's the trick. Is this okay? Have you been able to follow?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now a number of you are engaging and asking your questions. For the people who are in the class but are not asking the questions, please ask your questions. OR is pretty easy and OR is pretty scoring. Okay, so if you have any doubts, get that clarified. Okay, acha. Are your CRs in the class? I cannot see Rajrupa ya Tomojit.
Ma'am,
Bole fellow.
ma'am, I have a question. Like in the examination, we have to write each and every step mentioning, or we can do in a shortcut method.
No. You don't have to write anything, Babu. You don't have to write. You just, so what you will do, good question. So what you will do in the exam, this is given, right? So what you will do next, you will show this matrix. उसके बाद you will show this matrix. उसके बाद you will show this matrix. And last में you will show this matrix. बस only write the matrix. And then
like
you,
any statements, we don't have to write. Then.
no. And then you only write this. This is the optimal allocation and the cost is this. Bus. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
And
Thank
we
you.
have to show that one mapping part at last.
This is the solution. This
Yes.
is the solution. So you have to write the solution. Yes. Okay. So just you don't have to like in the note it's mentioned each and every step. You don't have to write anything. Just show me the matrices for in order. Show me the matrices, then write the optimal allocation, and then write the minimum cost or minimum time, whatever it is being asked. That's all. Okay?
Acha, ma'am. Ma'am, why are we doing this? All this?
You are doing this because it helps in something called job allocation problem. All of the operations research things that you do, just give me a second, guys. So all of the OR things that you will do, these have huge applications in a lot of areas. And a lot of companies, TCS suppose for example, they charge a lot of money for writing codes for these problems. Okay. So for example, there's an off route of this assignment problem which is called a vehicle routing problem. Okay, so for example, suppose you have a school and you have different routes and you have school buses. How can you keep your cost minimum and cover all the routes with the number of buses that you have? Each route will have one bus assigned to it, right? So what is the minimum cost of transport of routing your vehicles? So that's vehicle routing problem. Then the next problem that we will do in this is TSP, traveling salesman. एक सेल्समैन अभी सिटी पे सिटी घूम घूम के वो बेच रहा है बेचारा. What is the minimum cost? So that he can cover all the cities and do his work and come back home. So all of these actually have a lot of real life applications.
Ma'am, the subjects are also like the chapters are similar to the operating system things. Like we have already done the traveling salesman, the job sequencing, those things.
Yes. So the thing is, you will find. So you know what the idea is. So এই যে তোরা বলছিস যে operating system সে করেছিস, so where do you think the math of that came from? From here. This is the math. That's the application. Okay. Good point. ঠিক আছে. Queuing theory তো প্রচুর application. এই যে first come first serve server. You are generating a search request on Google and it is sending you a response. লেখা থাকে না response generated in এত seconds. So what is that? That's a queue. Your question, that's a request. It is hitting the server and it is being processed and then the response is being generated. That is a classic queue, the queuing system. Okay. So OR has huge applications. দেখিস তোরা খুঁজে খুঁজে. ঠিক আছে? Can I end the class now? হয়েছে? তোরা সেই সেকেন্ড ইয়ারের অভ্যাস টানছিস, সিঙ্গেল ক্লাসকে ডাবলে নিয়ে যাচ্ছিস।
Yes, ma'am. And
চলো আচ্ছা, from next class onwards I do not see your CRs in the class, so I will talk না রাজরূপাও নেই, অমজিতও নেই, I will talk to them from the next class onwards. We are going to structure the attendance. Okay, so for today's class I can see all of you who are here. I'm taking the screenshot and I'm maintaining the attendance, but from next class onwards there will be a Google sheet for attendance. Okay, the sheet will be circulated in the duration of the class, and then at the end of the class I'll download the data. ठीक है? Okay, chalo. So that's all
Yes,
for today. I will make, just give me a couple of days. I will make the Google Classroom for you all, and then I'll put up the notes there. Okay. Meanwhile, for this particular note, I'm sending it to Rajrupa, and then she can share it with you guys. Okay. Thank you. Chalo. Bye for now.